had to be honest. I really enjoyed this film watching this last night because I love your character and I love your character. Well, what a great story. A very inspiring immigrant, ambition, hardworking type of inspiring story. So, Danny, please share with the viewers what inspired you to take on this very unique role.
My dad immigrated from India to Chicago in the 1970s, and that's what this story is about. It's about an Indian American, or it's the Indian experience coming to America and searching for something different and new. So there was a personal tie-in for me. And my mom and dad both immigrated to Chicago in the 70s, so I think there was that connection was there right away. I wanted to tell that story and show that story. And then, there's amazing people attached to this. Karen David, Lena Khan, John Heater, Iqbal Thiba, who played my dad on Community, is my potential dad-in-law here. But just to be part of an Indian American story, I think, was really important to me because I think that's in this time of, I guess, of diversity awareness, it's nice to actually have a film that is doing that. So it was exciting for me.
So, were your parents engineers when they first migrated to this country?
No, actually, my story's a little different. My family didn't have no engineers really. But my parents came here when they were really young. They were straight out of high school, so they were still kind of figuring out what they wanted to do. But it was just like any other immigrant. They were, very happy to come here and to America, and it's been very good to them. And there was a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, there was a lot of stuff that they had to leave behind in India and in Poland, where my mom is from. So I think for me, that was the more interesting to talk about, is that there is every journey is pretty complicated, and it's not just you. And I think that's the immigrant story. Is it's not just one person when they come to America or wherever they go when they immigrate. They're also leaving behind a whole family, and then also creating a new family here. So that to me was important to tell all the different people that are affected by that. Yeah.
I think that's the underlying essence and that spirit that all of us amongst us in the cast had, because we all have these immigrant stories, because all of us are immigrants. I was born in near the Himalayas, and my mum and dad came from China, India, over to England and then Canada, and it's in search of that.
She wins for the most countries that she's touched. Congratulations.
it's my dad's fault.
Great.
But it's the same thing as Danny was saying. They were in search of like the American dream and hoping for better opportunities for my sister and I. And I think watching the film last night, I had a lump in my throat because it just reminded me of their journey, of the courage and the bravery that my parents went. My parents were only allowed to bring $20 with them, and they had to leave everything behind. So again, it's the same, leaving the family behind, leaving what they know, what's familiar to them, and their friends, and I'm just in full admiration of that. And last night, watching our beloved film just reminded me of that courage, and it's so inspiring and something that, yes, it is a charming and heartfelt immigrant story, but it's something that in a way that it's so universal that we can all relate to. So I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
And watching this film last night, I realized that our journey being here and who we are today, it wasn't an easy journey because our parents sacrificed so much. And, even I'm sure we all have some difficult time growing up. I grew up in Kansas, Midwest. I'm sure you had, right? Yeah. Redneck area. So I'm sure, like, I know. Well, this was this was 30 plus years ago, right? Yeah. Hey, but where am I? It's out in Cowtown. Yeah, it's not where Superman. I would be happy if I'm from Superman Town, but I really appreciate the fact that that Lena, the director, did this film to me perfectly. Like you said, we all can relate to this universal theme, and there's so many favorite scenes that I really enjoy. Tell me about one particular scene, or at least a couple of favorite scenes of yours, because I like the sharing room, I like the sharing clothes, all those funny scenes. I didn't even know that really happened.
First favorite scene is with Karen, the lovely Karen David, who's sitting right next to me right over here, born near the Himalayas. So there's a scene later in the film where we're both in this castle, which is John Heater's father's castle. and I'm pretending that this is my new mansion in America. So I'm trying to woo her, trying to really impress her. And by impressing her, I bring all this fake grass upstairs, and I have her close her eyes and walk. And I also do an overhead projector, and I project the Indian night sky, because we're in America, so I can't show her the constellations that we're used to seeing. And so I have her lay down in the fake grass, and we both look up at the Indian night sky, and it's just this beautiful moment. And for me, it kind of sums up the whole journey of the film, is that it's always been about us. It reminds us of where we came from, even though we're in a new place, how important it was to us where we came from, you know? At the same time, how, like, you know, we're moving on and we're kind of separating. Like, I think the Indian night sky is the one thing that kind of brings us back together. But overall, I just love that scene. I thought it was beautifully shot, and, you know, she's amazing. So I was happy to be part of that scene. Your turn.
My turn. Well, my answer's the same as well. You know, it's I think we're spoiled for choice with so many of the scenes in the movie. I mean, I most of my scenes were with Danny, so lucky me. But you know, just watching what the other guys were doing together, and it just because and Lena was saying that a lot of these stories, a lot of the scenes that we've seen in the movie are based on true stories. You know, and I certainly know family back home, when you go and visit some families, they have big families that live in these small houses, bless their hearts, and it's literally the whole family that sleep on the bed. And yeah, I have to, Lena will tell you more about it, but there was Uto, and then they had to turn around to the other side. That was one of my favorites, but my favorite of course is my scene with Danny, because it just, I mean, it is
so happy she said that. Oh my God. I didn't know, because we're on the spot, there's a camera in front of us. I was like,
no, but now I have a confession to make.
She's too pretty for you, Danny? She's too pretty for you.
I mean, come on, upgrade.
I paid him a lot of money to say such nice things. But I'm going to actually say even more now, is that that's probably one of my favorite scenes that I've ever done, really.
Oh, can you tell?
Because it was so special, because there's something that's so genuine, that resonates, and because Danny naturally is such an amazing, incredible, lovely human being.
Oh,
and but it's genuine, and when you're working with someone who's so genuine, their energy is so infectious, and you know, I cannot not light up like a light bulb when I'm around Danny. And so when we're on screen together in that moment, it's just, I can't help but smile, and smile with my whole heart and soul. And you see that between Ruby and Sammy, and that chemistry, it's so palpable, but it's so much, it's like a genuine, deep understanding of each other. Like, he knows me better than I know myself. Really? And you know, that's the essence of Ruby and Sammy. And it's so wonderful that no matter where they are, they will always be bonded and connected with their upbringing and their heritage, and that follows them everywhere. And that scene was just, it's kind of the scene that every girl kind of dreams about, that they want, you know, the love of their life to do. And it was so romantic.
It was.
I actually thought you were going to propose then. Yeah. But then I suppose, you know, it was in a way.
It was.
We'll talk to Lena about that.
It was a very soft proposal.
Yeah, like instead of going down on one knee, he brings fake grass. And actually, it was real grass.
It was real grass.
It was real grass you brought. Yes,
it wasn't turf. It was real grass.
It was a real deal. See, that's love.